Hello, here is a game from Foxxy where black was winning big all the time, especially after killing the lower right corner in the Joseki, and later on black could kill the whole bottom side. Well, in the end, white lucked out and won on time. The top left corner, if black plays right away at c15, white needs to give up those stones. Otherwise, if white resists, it will be a disaster and more stones will die. So anyway, let's see from the start. We have a start point and a komoku, followed by a komoku from white, which is facing the top right corner. So here, next move, black is going for the Hoshi attack, but actually it's still more urgent to play e17 or e16. Now the idea is that black is coming from q16, so having two stones against one on that side, it's already really nice for black. On the other hand, you don't want to let white make a shimari. So every time there's a start point on the board, like d4 and then a komoku, the priority is to attack the komoku first, because white needs just one move to enclose that corner. So if black plays a shimari here, white can do the same in the top left corner. Either e17 or the large shimari. It doesn't matter so much which shimari he chooses. The thing is he can enclose the corners. So for black it's good to approach one time, e17. Then when white defends, now black can choose to attack the other corner as well. f3 or the sun evasion. Of course, black can just go back and make a 2-space extension for a base, but it's a matter of style or taste. Anyway, it's a good direction to play for black to attack right away the top left corner. Then let's say we have this kind of follow-up. So this will already develop a nice point in the top for black. So that's the highest priority. Anyway, probably black just wants a different style of fuseki, so approaching f3 can be bad. And in fact, even after this exchange, f3, c6, black can first approach the top left corner and then decide whether to extend back to k4 or attach in this corner, slide it's an option, or simply go for a shimari. And this will be a much faster development for black. But okay, we have this standard variation with the extension at k4, and then white attacks the komoku. Otherwise, if white makes a shimari here and black does the same thing in the low right corner, this is an ideal formation for black on the bottom side. So far so good. Now black goes for the pincer, which leads to all kind of complicated josekis. White attaches in the corner, that's fine. And here black decides to push and cut. And this is pretty much a trick play. Normally black can cut right away, but in this case black doesn't even need to do that. I mean, it's good enough to play r2, white pulls back, then the tiger mouth, white needs to go out, and now there are several ways to continue. If black wants the bottom moyo, black will just play here, white puts pressure, and black jumps. So we get to a very basic pattern. Now if black wants the moyo on the right side, black can play a tsuke like this, extend, and now white will hit the vital point. But in this case, black can decide to cut here and give up the bottom, because white needs to add another move to kill this corner. If white doesn't play s2, let's say white pushes several times here and then extends on the bottom like this, black can just hane and descend, and this group it's alive already. If white blocks here, black can make I shape like this. If white hits the vital point, white also needs to go t1, because when white plays the block, black has a throw-in and atari from the outside. So that's the way to live in the corner. Now in this case, black switched to a moya on the right side, and the idea is to sacrifice the lower right corner, but white needs to capture it. Anyway, that kind of joseki, it's kind of rare, so it's just an idea if you really want to try the tsuke and cut in the middle. Now, so the classic way, it's hane and tiger mouth, or 1-space jump or 2-space jump. Then when white blocks the corner, you also jump on the right side. Of course, white can go kosumi here, then you extend, and now hit the vital point. We've seen this many times. Oops, sorry. Misclick. So this is a way for white to fix the group, but black develops both sides. Anyway, that's the idea when black goes hane r2. Now black can cut right away, and in this case, black will get a position on the right side. This variation is pretty much forced, and white either extends like this or connects against the cutting point, which is also fine because black develops towards q16 area, so there can be a nice moy on the right, and white's thickness, it's kind of facing the black middle side stone at k4, so it's not that effective. Therefore, cut right away, it's a fine option. Now push and cut, it's a bit too much, and here white can actually punish black by playing Hane at q2, but the actual move is just Nobi. So when Hane on the second line, if black blocks here, for example, this is already good for white, because white can extend out to p5 or play Atari and Atari again. Now if this happens, white can catch the stone on the side and he builds a nice corner. Now if he plays the Nobi, in order to make sure he's not going to capture r6, black will capture this stone first, but now white will squeeze, and the result is also great for white, because black invests too many stones in the corner to be like 10 points, and white got a tremendous thickness on the outside and also hurt this r7. So this is a good punishment for white. Therefore, when white plays q2, black is not going to block p2, but play Atari on the outside, and then either connect solid or go down. Now white will hit a vital point like this, threatening to cut 2 stones. Black needs to connect, white connects under, and black has to capture the 2 stones. And later on there are 2 pips here, which white can use as co-threats. But white already got a very comfortable position in the corner, and black invests many moves on the outside to capture the 2 stones. So trying to trick white here, in the end, black gets the one tricked, more or less. So white just needs to know that he's supposed to play Hane on the second line. But white played a Nobi, so now overplays unpunished are greatest Suji. Black should just descend, and the corner is in trouble. This is a way to connect and in the same time put pressure in the corner. Because when black plays r6, white can still Hane, now connect, because this creates a cutting point at p3. Black will defend here, and now white can Hane and make 2 eyes like this. But, well, it's still kind of tricky, because in the middle the 2 stones are in trouble for white. So the result here locally is good for black. But going down to s5, this puts more pressure in the corner, and the 2 stones in the center are still in trouble. So if we have the same variation as before, Hane, block, connect, hanging connection, when white plays s4, black will just Hane, and this group is dead. Compared to the other variation with r6, where white can Hane s5 to expand his eye space. Now this is the L group, so there is no way to leave. So the only option for white here to leave is to play the tiger mouth and then go for a ko. But being the early stage of the game, white is difficult for white to find co-threats. So let's say white pushes here, black can just play capture, eliminate the ko, and then capture the corner. So this is good for black. Therefore, it's difficult for white. Either ko or connect, he will suffer. So it's good to remember that black can go down s5 instead of r6. Now when white plays here, he's ready to sacrifice the corner, and black can actually Hane in the corner. r2, then block, connect, and now it's difficult to leave, because when white goes down, you just descend first. Now he needs to connect somehow, and then you come out. White has like 5 liberties in the corner, but black already got more. So this semi, it's easy for black. When white plays disattach, black can push and cut. And now again it's troublesome, because when white goes here, you Hane and Nobi, and there are only 3 liberties on the bottom side, and there is no way to fight the semi with the other group. So it's kind of finished already. Black goes down, which is also an option, then extend. Now if white wants to leave in the corner, he has the option to play s5 and descend, and this will lead to a ko fight, but black is not going to start the ko right away. This would be the ko. Black needs to go out here, and then if white adds another move, he's alive in the corner, but again he suffers on the outside. So overall, even if white lives in the corner, the result is bad, because black builds more on the outside. So now pull back. Well, that's not necessary. It's good enough to play Hane and connect, and now, well, similar to the game, the corner will die, because once you play here, you give white the chance to change his mind and leave in the corner, but he still wants to kill. So yeah, this is super difficult for white. Actually here, the right order of move is to go down t4, because when white plays this move, you block, there are 3 against 2, when he goes here, Atari. But if you take the liberty at q1, he can Hane first, now you block, and then he removes the liberty. And now we have a ko fight. Well, it's a ko, one-step approach ko, but it's still something. So white can play here, you answer, he takes back. Then you play some ko threat, you might take another liberty. So it's still a ko in the corner. But okay, this ko, he doesn't have to play right now because he's got no ko threats. So that's why the order is to go down and prevent that ko. Anyway, now obviously black has to descend and then approach with Atari. So this is a disaster for white. He lost the corner, which means black, actually white wasn't able to punish that overplay, the push and cut. So now defend, this is normal. Go down, extend, that's fine. And black cuts. Actually here black can just peep and go up because the entire group is in trouble. But the cut works, it's fine, why not? No ladders. It's just that here, white can play Atari, Atari again, Atari one more time, and then the double hanging connection and connect. So in this case, white will probably discard these guys, but at least save the bottom group and try to attack the other stones. So that's a pretty forced sequence. Playing like this is tough for white. Black can just cover. Also the no beat's fine. No beat's threatening this group on the right, but here white can save everything, so he was supposed to save the important stones, which are the bottom, and just go out like this. That's more important than trying to save the stones on the right. So he jumped, and now all of a sudden the bottom dies. Now at some point black is making a crucial mistake not to capture this group. All these moves here are forced and they are fine. Good jump, Atari, Atari again, Atari one more time. And now, even if black doesn't connect here, the group will die. For example, black can cover. And if white cuts, black goes in the corner. If white Atari somehow, black goes out, Atari here connect. If he escapes like this, go out again. And the group is surrounded. There's nothing to do in this area. Only one eye, but one eye it's completely dead. So, okay, we have the connection. Also, as a connection here, black should think about f5. It's more artistic, especially that after this, it's easier to attack the group on the left side. But yeah, just cover or don't play anything. The group is dead as it stands. So black connects. Well, this connection at e4 affects the corner. I mean, there's an impact to follow up with Hane and capture a stone eventually. Anyway, white is pushing out. Cover, that's good. Hane and jump. Now instead of jump, black should just cut. It's finished. Because if white plays the Hane here to remove a liberty, black will just Atari the two stones. And then when white connects, you have a throw-in, which is a snapback. So when white captures here, you don't have to do anything. You can just play away, and only when he plays Atari from the outside, you take the group. Now the same thing can happen when white goes up. There are 3 liberties, but you can always play Atari here. So if white plays m1, you take 2 stones, he takes 1 back, and he's dead. There is nothing to worry about. Actually, you don't even take the 2 stones, you just play away. So cut will kill right away, and probably at this stage white will just resign. Now go out, then push. The cut still works. So when white pushes through, Atari. Of course, it's also throw in and Atari from the outside, another way. But Atari directly works just fine. So black should really cut here and finish him off right away. This will catch the stones on the right, but it was bigger to kill the bottom group. Now I don't understand why black protects here, because even if white pushes and cuts, he only has 1 liberty in the corner. So let's say black plays away, white can try this kind of push, then cut, Atari connect and defend, and there's nothing to worry about, because on the right side, let's say white plays here hoping to catch that group, black plays away, white plays here, black plays away, white plays here, black plays something to attack this group severe, and on Atari, you just capture the corner. So automatically this group will die. Therefore, it's no need to play another move inside if it's really no danger. So white's move doesn't make sense. He's threatening a cut that doesn't really exist. I mean, if he plays here, here, and he cuts like that, again, black has nothing to worry about. Black can play Atari like this, push, when turn, you just play away. So Atari, catch. Well, too conservative. It's interesting to play moves like this or attack this group, and when white comes out, separate, and again go for the big kill on the bottom side. But anyway, black looks good overall. So he's coming out. Hane very good, nice shape. There's a better way to separate this one. So when white plays something like this, you go inside the middle, chase the group, and also reduce the left side. If he pushes from the outside, you jump, and now he's in trouble on the left. Well, pretty much the same idea with this Keima. Now the Tesuji is to play this Tsuke. But anyway, it's tough for white again, so he got the Shimari. Push and cut, it's an option, but the approach here is pretty large because the top side is the most open. So push through and cut, that's fine. Now here, if black pushes and cuts, white has a double Atari, but black can Atari here first. White has to connect, and now you push through, then Atari, and then connect. Because in this case, white only has one eye so far, and he needs another eye on the bottom. So if white comes up in the middle, then black, let's say, jumps like this or towards the top to make some liberties. When black plays this move, the group will die, because when white connects like this, you throw in, and that's a false eye. And if he connects here, you throw in, and again, it's a false eye. So all you have to do now is make sure you have enough liberties in the center to win the semi-eye. Therefore, when you cut like this, white has to come back and make the second eye, and then you either play an Atari here, or a jump to the left. So already you're inside the moyo. So it's good to remember the timing. Atari, and then push through and cut. Otherwise, another Tesuji is to play Kosumitsuke here, threatening the cut, and then jump and try to make some Sabaki on the way out, and later still think about surrounding the whole group in order to kill it, because when white plays here, you can Atari and connect, and that eye disappears. And if white plays this move, the eye will go away anyway. So now white is out, black got a stick in the middle, but now it's connected. So on this Tsuke, black and Hane. If white cuts like this, nothing to worry about, just play Atari. Which means, when black plays the Hane here, white might Nobi, and now black is connected in Sente, compared to turn, which is a Gote defense for black. So Hane, white will pull back or Nobi, and then approach the top. Anyway, black still looks good. This lower right corner, quite impressive. So now the invasion. It's interesting to jump to the second line, because if white separates like this, then you go in the corner this way, and if white protects the corner, then you jump towards the top to connect to the other group. So that's a move to create Miai. Jump to the left or to the right like this, A, B. Anyway, using the cuts, it's a nice idea too. This is a good move. Then all kind of Aji here. In fact, black can just play Nobi, because this is threatening the cut and capture the J14. So white gotta play this one, then Tsuke this way, and now cross cut, Atari, and capture. So if white doesn't protect the J14 but plays, for example, this move to go for the kill, you have Atari and connect. Now when he plays something like this to escape, you turn and then surround everything. So the group will die. And if he plays Kosumi, let's see how this one works. Yeah, here it's time to use the Tesuji, which is this move. So, for example, if white connects, you can go Atari, he needs to connect, and then Atari again. And when he plays here, you capture the keystones. So you're connected. That's a nice move to remember, this one. But I guess it works also by playing Atari, then wedge, because when Atari here, you connect and then it's up or down. Yeah, so it works either way. Now it got a little more complicated, but still okay for black. Yeah, nice life in the corner for giving up the top. And actually here when white Hane, the block was good, but you don't need to protect the corner. It's good to cut right away. Because if he captures the corner with this move, you go Atari from behind, Atari again, and Atari again. And if he plays Atari first, it still works fine. So he will go Atari here, then capture the corner. Now you got the Atari on 2 stones, but this can be played anytime. Then Atari like this, he must capture, and then just block, because you make one eye and he doesn't. So now, if he plays a Hane here, you don't block to leave the core, you just go down. And there is no way for white to approach from the inside. And if he plays the Hane from the other side, you go down here. Now, he needs to do something and capture the 3 stones in the top. Because if he cuts here, now he's in trouble to lose the other stones. If he tries to connect, now you have this move, then Atari, and capture everything. So those combinations are important in the top. And well, for white, for black, it's very easy to just descend an Atari from the outside, but that's just in case you need. Otherwise, you wait for him to resign instead. So no need to connect when you can cut and kill everything. If he plays this one, an Atari, and capture, then you don't need another move inside at B19. And he still needs to protect here. So it's game over. But unfortunately, white got lucky. So if white connects here, black has this move, white connects here, and black connects like this. It's a disaster. Well, overall, very good game for black, but with a few missed opportunities. The cut here, which was important to kill the bottom, then this move, not necessary, then cut in the top left corner. So watch out for this kind of tactics. It may make a difference in future games.